Kiwi Build's about providing affordable homes for first home buyers, and Queenstown's one of the most expensive housing markets in the country, pretty much on a par with Auckland, if not more expensive. And so the price cap is $650,000, but we've been producing homes that are in the 500s in Auckland, and I expect we will here as well in all likelihood. Now that's not affordable for some people, but it is affordable, say, if you've got a household income of, let's say, 90,000 or more, and there's a very significant chunk of young Kiwi families who have been locked out of the housing market, even who are earning good incomes, but because of the state of the current market and the lack of supply of affordable housing, they just haven't had a chance, and Kiwi Build is about turning that around.
Do you think Kiwi Build is brave enough in the sense that here in Queenstown our trust has gone, if you like, the full 9 yards by separating the houses from the land, and that's cutting the price of a house in half, and it seems to tick so many boxes because the land stays with the trust. Could you not do the same thing and have the land stay with the government and just sell the house and therefore cut houses in half?
So Kiwi Build's one relatively small part of a very big housing reform program. There's a lot of work underway, from public housing, emergency housing to tackle homelessness, modernising the rental laws. We're changing the way infrastructure is financed. We're creating an urban development authority to do large-scale urban development projects. So it's really important to know that it's one of a very one part of a very big reform agenda. I believe that Kiwi Build can make an important contribution in Queenstown, but it's not the complete answer to Queenstown's housing issues. And I hold the work of the Community Housing Trust here in very high regard, and I think that the work that they've done, essentially creating a secondary market for affordable housing, separating the cost of the home from the value of the land, I think is really promising, and I think it can be part of the long-term solution for Queenstown's woes. And I want to explore how the government can work more closely with the Trust to grow the work that they're doing. They've had a very successful partnership with the Queenstown Lakes District Council here, and you know, I wish that there were more organisations like the Community Housing Trust in other parts of New Zealand as well.
The Trust has worked for 10 years to arrive at this apparently very successful solution. As you know, the Mayor's task force put a lot of heavy brain power into it. I mean, from my perspective, it just seems to be working so well, and it's so logical. Why not adopt it faster? Why not just keep it simple and get it done?
So I think that the idea of separating out the land from the housing is not a solution that I'm particularly keen on in the rest of New Zealand. I think we can be more ambitious to bring down the price of urban land, to build a more competitive development and construction industry, and make housing more affordable for the future. Queenstown's different. Queenstown is exceptional. You've got the Aspen syndrome here. You've got this incredibly successful visitor economy, a comparatively low wage workforce here, and the pressures on the housing market caused by a lot of wealthy people who love to come and live and play here. That's an almost unique set of circumstances. Plus you've got a very challenging topography here, and allowing Queenstown just to endlessly sprawl out into the countryside and grow like you might in another city is not really a viable solution here. Queenstown is exceptional, and it needs exceptional measures and creative approaches, and that's why I really appreciate the work that's been done by the Mayor's Task Force here, but also by the Community Housing Trust, and I am keen to see how we can work with them more.
I think one of the problems in Queenstown is that we don't like to complain, because obviously we live in a beautiful place, but things are getting quite serious in the sense that we not only have to pay more for our houses, but we earn less. So the price of housing is huge, but the cost of living here, the salary is 10% lower. So given that perfect storm of unaffordability, do you not think that this particular project that we're launching today should have been made cheaper, because it will be beyond the reach of many people who do work here and keep the tourism industry going, which feeds GST to the government?
This project, I think, is going to inject, more than $300 new homes into a vibrant, modern, urban community right in the heart of town, easy walking distance from the downtown retail area. That's going to make a really big difference. But I think we've also got to look to the future. We've got to look at ways of providing more key worker housing in Queenstown. We've got to look at finding ways of injecting more affordable rentals into the market. And I'm up for those conversations and working, for instance, with the Mayor Jim Bolt and his council on how we can work together on that.
So the Kiwi build apartments here, what do you think they might retail for? 400,000?
Oh, you'll have to talk to Ngāi Tahu about that. I mean, there's still some more detailed master planning to do, and those are ultimately commercial decisions that they will make as part of the development.
But as Minister, what would your definition of being affordable would be? What would you personally like to see these apartments go for?
Look, the price cap is 650,000 for a three-bedroom dwelling, but we are in many places now. There are places that are selling are in the mid 500s for 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. So there's, but the details will be worked out by Ngāi Tahu. This is their development, and as long as they come within the Kiwi Build price caps, then I'm sure they'll be able to make it work.
Sure, but you can see the problem, can't you, that those prices are still up there.
Yeah, but we're talking about a 3-bedroom home for under 650,000. That is less than half the average house price in Queenstown Lakes. It's less than half the average. So it might not be affordable for everybody, but it is a lot more affordable than even the average house price in Queenstown.